Alright, this is it. This is the review. It's been about a month and I figured now is probably the best time to do a bit of a review on the almost Uber Mullen board that I bought. Just grab him here. Yeah. Here's the board. That's the board there. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Still holding up. It's not too banged up at this point. As you can see there. Alright, so my thoughts on this board. I've got to say it's a lot of fun. It's heaps of fun actually. It's been a real pleasure to ride this board, to get to know it a little bit better. I've got to say it's been a hell of a lot easier on the old body, that's for sure. But it's a good deck. It's kept its pop all this time. I've skated it and I've had a friend of mine skate it, and I'll put some footage maybe up in the corner here or something of the board being skated so you guys can get a better look at what's happening. But yeah, it's kept its pop. It hasn't deviated in any way. There's been no stress fractures or anything that I can see in the board. And I've got to say, I think it's probably the strongest board for its weight, really. Like at the end of the day, that was the whole point of buying the board, was to see what we could do with it weight-wise. And I think it's probably the strongest board, except for maybe those Powell, I think it's Powell, do those flight decks, the Anderson boards and stuff. I know people love those boards. I would love to have one of those boards if we could get them in Australia, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. But yeah, I find this board has been amazing. It really has. It's been a real refresher on skateboarding again, which has been lovely. Alright, if we move on to the trucks, I bought the Tensor mag lights, the hollows. And I gotta say, I haven't been disappointed. They're incredibly light, like one of the lightest trucks that you can get sort of in the world. I've enjoyed them heaps. People said it would take a while to get used to skating these boards or skating these trucks with the magnesium base, because it's a finer metal, it's a softer metal I should say, and that's true. They definitely wear down way quicker, like way quicker than I initially thought they would. I knew they were going to be somewhat of a quick wear truck, because you can sort of see, it's kind of hard to see there, but they do wear down incredibly quickly. So that's just something to be careful of. It's just something to know when you go out to buy your set of trucks, that you're probably going to go through these, I'd say twice, if not 3 times faster than you would say a set of Indies or something like that. So there's that to sort of contend with. I really like them. I think they grind a hell of a lot better than the aluminium trucks do. But in saying that, that's a preference thing. It's really what you're used to or what you've grown up skating. You know, if you've grown up skating, I don't know, Ventures or something along that line, you're probably going to stick to the brand that you know, I guess. But I had used Tensors in the past on friends' boards years and years ago, but I'd never had a set myself, and I love them. It's like you almost don't need to wax spots. You can almost just go there and straight out of the gate, they're going to slide. I found that amazing. It's been a real turnaround. I haven't changed the bushings. They're the same bushings that came with the board. They're fine. There's been no popping or cracking. They're not sitting anywhere funny that they shouldn't be. Everything's still straight. So yeah, I really would recommend these trucks for anyone who likes a lighter board and just something that's a little easy to slide with, really. One of the other new things I did with this board was get ceramic bearings, which I'd never used before. I'm not a ceramic bearing kid, but they I find them amazing. They're like silent, basically, which is cool. I know some people like to pop their shells and get real gnarly and have it sound like a V8 coming down the street, but I prefer a bit of stealth in my skateboarding. But yeah, the bearings have been amazing. There's been nothing in them that has worried me. They all still spin perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I haven't had to oil them or do anything funky like that. They just keep going and going. It's been a really good, and I would highly recommend ceramic bearings, as long as you're not doing anything, I'd say, in crusty areas. If you're doing stuff in, like, I don't know, you're doing bank skating or something like that, or anywhere where there's like grit and shit everywhere on the ground, then that might be an issue, but I haven't found there to be a problem, and I skate some pretty crusty stuff. Alright, wheels. These were the wheels. I ended up getting the tablet shape. 99 DUs, the Formula 4 Spitfires. Normally I get a slightly bigger truck, a slightly wider truck, just because, as I've said in the other videos, I prefer to have more wheel on the ground. It's a little more stable for me. But in this board I kind of tapered down the size of the wheel so that it would fit the board, one, two, and would take away some of the weight. And that's been great. I haven't got any flat spots, haven't had any issues with them whatsoever. I like the tablet shape because it means you can lock in. You've got more of a hard edge here. That's my preference over, say, a rounded wheel. But I mean, everyone's different, so you know, it's really up to you. So in conclusion, I like this board. I like this board a lot. It's probably been the best board I've ridden in the last couple of years. I've enjoyed learning older tricks on it again. It's been a lot easier because of the weight. But I will say, the weight thing with this board, the reason it's the lightest skateboard in the world, or why I call it the lightest skateboard in the world, as so does Almost, is because it's the lightest for the strength. All right, so you're going to find other boards out there on the markets that are lighter than this, but I can guarantee you the wood density and quality won't be as good. And that's what you're against, like that's what you're playing with essentially, is whether you get a cheaper board that will snap quicker because the wood in it is not as high quality. There's that, but then it'll get soggy quick, it'll lose its pop quick, or go with a slightly more expensive, lightest skateboard in the world that is, I would say, quality-wise, far better, far better. It's a better wood, it's a better quality. It, like I said, it keeps its pop. I haven't found any sort of spots in the board yet where it feels sort of sloppy or it's getting like worse or anything. So that's been good. So look, I would recommend this board to anyone really. I got it because I wanted it to see, you know, what I could do with the lightest board in the world. And in my research, I found that it is the lightest, best quality board, and that's the preface. That's what you sort of have to think about. Yeah, you could get a lighter board for sure, but I can guarantee you it won't last anywhere near as long as this board does. And this one's been, you know, skated. It hasn't been thrashed, but it's been skated like hard for the last month. So yeah, if you're out there looking or was thinking about getting a super light Almost board, or worried about the price of the board and all the rest of it, then I would highly recommend getting this board. It's incredible. It's been such a pleasure to skate on, and I hope that helps you guys buy a skateboard or buy the world's lightest quality skateboard. See you guys.